Google is at risk of losing one of its biggest money makers. You're going to find out how a 130-year-old law could change everything for the tech giant.
Fox 10 Extra News at 7 is back.
The Department of Justice is looking to hold one of the largest tech companies in the world accountable for running a monopoly, and they're asking a judge to force Google to break off from their Chrome browser. But the Trump administration could shake things up in January. Today I spoke with Jeremy Rosenthal, a legal analyst, who says this process, though, could take a long time. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so let's set this all up. And for a timeline, a judge had ruled that Google holds a monopoly in the search market. And now the DOJ is pushing Google to divest its Chrome browser. But you were saying a little bit earlier that this actually started during the first Trump administration. So talk a little bit about that.
It shouldn't be any surprise that this type of case, this type of litigation, isn't done overnight. It takes quite a long time. The Trump administration, the first Trump administration, were the ones that initiated this lawsuit against Google. The judge this past summer, the Biden administration, obviously having picked up the ball on that case, ruled that Chrome is a monopoly. The judge has not decided what the punishment is going to be or how they're going to treat that monopoly.
So do you have any guesses, potentially? I know it's probably hard to say.
Well, they're exactly that. They're guesses. First off, you had Matt Gaetz, who has said some things before that were sort of anti-big tech, and now that he is no longer going to be the nominee for Attorney General, we have to wait and see who that new Attorney General is going to be. Also, there's going to be a personnel change regardless in the antitrust division between Biden's people and Trump's people, and we don't know whether or not they're going to want the same remedies. Obviously, it was the first Trump administration that started this lawsuit, so you would think that there is going to be some interest in pursuing it. What the Biden administration wants, what Merrick Garland and his Department of Justice want, is pretty aggressive in terms of trust busting, if you will, Teddy Roosevelt style. Again, we just don't know what the new Trump administration is going to look like yet, or what they're going to necessarily want.
What does all of this, though, mean to someone who's just watching what we're talking about right now at home? You know, you log on to the internet, you go to Google, you go to a search engine. What does this actually mean for someone who's watching our discussion and listening right now?
Talking about both sides of the coin when it comes to the antitrust debate. So first off, the Antitrust Act, the Sherman Antitrust Act, is there to ensure more competition. So the Justice Department would say, look, the consumer is not getting as much of a choice, that Google Chrome is everywhere. It feeds itself, it markets itself. They have these contracts with Apple, with Android, and that it hurts competition on one end, and on the other end, the consumer gets less. Obviously, Google's going to take a much different position on that. They're going to say, and they actually have come out and said, look, this is going to affect privacy, this is going to affect security, and we do a really good job at what we do. That's why we're the top seller. So there's really two ways to look at it, depending on which side of the coin you sort of think is right.
Jeremy Rosenthal, thanks so much for your opinion. We really appreciate your perspective.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks.